the method in which he is set to die, lethal injection. For those of you who don't know, lethal injection is a combination of 3 shots that they give you. They give you one to slow you breathe, and then they put you to sleep with the second one, and then the third one stops your heart. If I'm the family member of one of these people who died, or my kid, or my daughter, or my wife lost a limb, yeah, I didn't get off that easy. I suffered. You dig?
Yeah.
And that's going to be my only gripe with the death penalty, especially in a case like this. Like, because I always think about, like I think a lot of us kind of default to that. We think we put ourselves into certain situations. Like if somebody brutally, does something to someone in my family, and you tell me what you're going to do is put them to sleep, and they just ain't going to wake up no more, yeah, I'm good. If that's the case, let them spend a lifetime with the booty warrior. Therefore, I know suffering's going to happen. You dig? Like, I know that's what time it is with that. But you telling me you just going to put this dude to sleep? Nah, that don't really work for me. That don't really work as justice for me. Or
would the electric chair, would the electric chair be justification? Would you be good with that?
Nah, because it's the same.
Firing squad?
It's the same. I don't even know firing squad, man. I don't, like, it's not something that I can answer, but I definitely know, like, this whole concept of.
I'm just saying, but I'm just asking,
I'm telling you, I don't know. That's my answer. I don't know. But the whole thing of something being like people who complain about certain death penalty regiments being too inhumane. Okay, if something happens to ask the surviving family members of that crime, is it too inhumane? Because that's the whole deal with the whole lethal injection thing. We want to make it humane. Get out of here, man. I don't care nothing about that.
Or just the people that lost their limbs.
Yeah, I don't care nothing about that, pimp. It don't need to be.
They're the ones they're the ones that's left suffering probably more than anybody, because they have to wake up every day with the
constant reminder,
the loss of legs or whatnot.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, man. We just wanted to bring that to you guys first and foremost right off the bat, because it hit actually right before we started recording this. As we move on here, this is the Sports Kings podcast. We're being heard via Spreaker.com. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Sports Kings Live, and on the email, sportskingslive@gmail.com. Speaking of Sports Kings Live, there is a very, 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 very good chance that we will actually be live starting on Monday.
Where? We got hired?
Hired from who? I'm not trying to get hired no more. I'm trying. This me. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be the boss.
I thought somebody might have picked us up. Man, I ain't know. You scared me then.
I'm trying to.
Live.
Yeah, we're trying to pick ourselves up. Right here on Spreaker.com. I got an email out to the Spreaker people, and it may be they usually get back to me in like a day. So by tomorrow, you'll see us on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. If it happens, that we will begin doing the show live starting on Monday if everything goes as planned. So fingers crossed, everyone. Or, if that's something that you require as well. And just because we're live, we will also still have the podcast posted as well. That still be happening. The only difference will be is we'll be able to talk about things real time as they're happening, and you guys will be able to interact with us via our chat situation.
Text line. Yeah.
Right. So it'll be a much more.
Do we have a phone number? Do we have a number?
Working on that as well.
We're
working on that. But as of now, you'll be able to, and I pretty much prefer actually, the written format than calls, especially in this situation where we don't have a call screener. Yeah, you dudes are wackos and you know it. And I'm not trying to have nobody hijacking my gig at all. Yeah. So for the time being, until we can get some sort of situation intern wise or something like that, someone who can volunteer their time for the experience of working with us two gallant gentlemen.
Speaking of which, it always works well. Hey, man, Aaliyah is a reporter. Our last intern, Aaliyah, is a reporter up in Michigan, homeboy.
Yeah, doing like entertainment report, right?
Huh?
Yeah, but look, see now, see if you're gonna go that far, if you're gonna brag about her, you're gonna brag about John Coffey too. You gonna do that?
John Coffey wasn't no legit intern. John Coffey wasn't going to school. John Coffey was not in school.
He was still in the intern program. He did something. Right.
No, but this girl was in the university. She was at Savannah State.
So
that's what I'm talking about.
It makes it different.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a weirdo, dude.
Yeah, John Coffey works for Park Atlanta. He writes tickets and puts boots on cars. Yeah, little Leah, she out there getting it.
I ain't shouting out to no
go
damn
on,
Leah.
go.
She unfollowed me on Twitter. I ain't shouting out to her ass.
For real?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did.
No, she got a new Twitter, dude.
I don't care. She didn't refollow me. So what?
Yeah, she killed it. But she following the Sports King though, I think.
Whatever.
She killed it and created a new one, that's professional, like, 'cause, she used to be posting, you know how these young folks do. So she went professional.
All right. What are we looking at here? We got 20 minutes. All right, this would be a perfect time, a perfect little segue here. We'll, as we said earlier, we'll go back into the annals of sports history as we do each and every day.
What is that smell?
Yeah, what you're smelling is on this day.
It's the Sports Kings.
On this day. All right, we'll try to go ahead and get through these real quick so we can get to the NBA playoff games that happened yesterday. On this day in 1862, Brooklyn's Union Grounds opened. It was the first enclosed baseball park. On this day in 1926, the New York Rangers were officially granted a franchise in the NHL. The NHL also announced that Chicago and Detroit would be joining the league in November. As far as I know, the New York Rangers just made it to the conference finals in the NHL, beating the Washington Nationals in a Game 7 in which, guarantees were made and all this kind of stuff. And that's as far as I know. That's like, you just got as much hockey talk as you're going to get for probably the next year on this show from me. And that's it. Grand opening, grand closing, my friends.
Peace.
On this day in 1935, the Pittsburgh Pirates beat the Philadelphia Phillies 20-5. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, even post-prohibition, guys were still getting pushed in on the baseball diamond. Well, in sports, period.
They were juicing.
And on this day in 1941, Joe DiMaggio began his Major League Baseball hitting streak of 56 games. The streak ended on July 17th. We all know about the quote-unquote streak. On this day in 1973, Nolan Ryan, of that time with the California Angels, he pitched his very first no-hitter. You know what I should have done in doing this? Actually went and found out how many he ended up with, because I think he has the MLB lead in no-hitters for a career. If I'm not sure, but I don't know what the number is. On this day in 1991, U.S. President Bush took Queen Elizabeth to an Oakland A's Baltimore Orioles game. You know, the Baltimore Orioles, where our baseball matters, or our birds matter. Those guys.
Mm-hmm.
On this day in 1993, the Montreal Expos, many of you probably don't even know who the hell the Montreal Expos are. We'll tell you in a minute. Retired Rusty Staub's number 10. It was the first number retired by the team. And subsequently, the team also got retired. They are now the Washington Nationals. On this day in 1993, in San Antonio, Texas, the Alamo Dome opened. You guys remember the Alamo Dome is where, after Hurricane Katrina, the New Orleans Saints were rumored to have been moving to play. I think they actually played in the Alamo Dome the subsequent year while the Superdome was being repaired and given sponsorship by Mercedes-Benz and that whole situation.
That was the old San Antonio. That was where the Spurs used to play.
On this day in 1995, the Vancouver Canucks set an NFL playoff record when Christian Ruutu and I guess that's Jeff, Geoff, Corton Hall scored shorthanded goals only 17 seconds apart. That's like the equivalent of like two back-to-back like shots in the NBA in 2 seconds. For people to score in the NHL in 17 seconds of each other, that's like a lightning round or something. And finally, on this day in 2014, former New England Patriots tight end Aaron Hernandez was actually indicted for a double murder that occurred in Boston nearly 2 years ago. So on this day last year, yes. We have some Aaron Hernandez news as well coming up when we get to our NFL stuff. But now, we will talk NBA basketball. As we record this podcast, the Atlanta Hawks are looking to close out the Washington Wizards in the nation's capital. We're going to talk a little bit about this team as well, the Atlanta Hawks as well. It's going to kind of fit into you guys see how it fits into the conversation we're having here. So last night the Cavs pushed it in against the Bulls, 94-73, 20-point victory to win that series, 4-2.
What a game!
What a game! Yeah, Yeah, what a bad game. What bad basketballs played. Like, we had to rely on your favorite guy. What is his name? Dellavedova? We had to rely on him for points.
Dellavedova.
Yeah, had to rely on the new Bob Sura for points.
But no, while we were recording this podcast yesterday, because we try not to just start talking about stuff going on in the game unless it's really real. Kyrie went down while we were recording.
He did,
and it was like, yeah, and so he never came back. And it was like he never came back. LeBron was like LeBron had an all right game. LeBron was out there breaking.
LeBron had a terrible game. He scored 15 points.
He was out there. Yeah, he was out there breaking. But then you see other players around him step up and start, and made it happen. I mean, it turned into a blowout.
And so, in your estimation, that constitutes the description. What a game! Yeah.
Well,
that's
no,
what
I
a
was
terrible
saying what a game because the reason I say what a game again is because going into this whole playoff thing, Cleveland went in this thing, came into the playoffs with Kevin Love, LeBron, and Kyrie. They're down to LeBron right now. As of last night, they were down to LeBron.
He hurt his back last night too.
Yeah, but everybody stepped up around, and it was, and it didn't look clunky. How about that?
Yeah,
it didn't look clunky.
Part of that is because that Bulls team gave the F up. They were done playing. They were like beating dogs.
I'm like, this is what I don't get. Like, okay, we are, well, not we are, but if you're in our age group, you remember Doug Collins having Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, pretty much that whole nucleus that Phil Jackson inherited. And they went on to do great things under Phil Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think this is that Bulls team, right? We all have heard that Coach Tibbs is probably out of there, right? We've all heard that rumor. But I don't think this is that Bulls team where...
Sorry, dude. That wasn't supposed to happen. Something bad's happening right now, Rob. I'm sorry. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But,
what the hell just happened?
But I just don't think that there's going to be another coach that's going to be able to come in like Phil did with Doug and take this thing to the next level.
Well,
I think we've
hold
seen
on.
the best.
You got to slow down with that because you got to remember what, like, sometimes we get a little bit older and then we forget little small details. Like, this is a different type of situation. Like, this is a team where there are no egos to reel in. You remember Phil Jackson's his main objective was to convince Michael Jordan to trust other people other than himself.
Right.
That was the main objective. To corral Mike and get Mike to buy in. These guys are cool. There are no egos on this team.
But what I'm saying is that I think that we've seen like this team right here, the goddamn Super Bowl. We've already seen the best of this team. Like what we've seen, in these wins, the last two series. I mean, because we've never seen all these guys healthy enough to play together. I mean, Powell just got there, but you're talking about going into next season. Powell be a year older. Like I don't think, I just don't think we'll see this Bulls team for as good as they look on paper. Like I think that they are who they are, and we saw that in this playoff series because on paper this Chicago Bulls team is better than the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't care if LeBron James is there.
You can't say that. You can't say I don't care if LeBron James is. He's the best player in the world.
Of course I can't. But you know what I'm saying. Like, but player for player, the Chicago Bulls, there's no way Chicago should have lost that game last night by 20.
This is the situation that we're in because again, you're speaking as though certain things didn't happen within this series. First of all, you still even as different as Derrick Rose looked than when he came off the first knee injury. He's still 6-7 weeks removed from another knee surgery. Well, I mean, that's still a case.
Right,
Pau Gasol still missed 2 games with a hamstring.
Yeah.
So when you start talking about this team as a whole, and then you got Jimmy Butler being guarded by LeBron James. You see what I'm saying? So at a certain point, yeah, you might want to think this team on paper, but this team when healthy, to just say that this team has peaked out, there are certain things that might make you that may give you that argument But you didn't mention any of them. The fact that Jimmy Butler is reported, or the